Yo, what is good? What is good, my good YouTube people, man? It's your boy B3, and we're back with another Chainsaw Man video. Chapter 124, guys. 124. And it's a pretty okay chapter. This chapter is what I would call the heist before the robbery, the stakeout. Getting every single thing in order to prepare for the main event, because this chapter has a lot of symbolism. Like, if you read this chapter, you know what happened, I know what happened, but there might be slight little tidbit that could be overshadowed by the grand narrative of the chapter, because I'm not gonna hold you, we saw a lot of crazy things this chapter, man. That guy got cooked. Literally, man. We saw this demon hell centipede from out of nowhere. Also, I saw on Twitter, someone said that this actually might be the hell devil because they do have similar faces. I'm not too sure. They kind of seem like a completely different species, but when devils are reborn, they kind of do take different forms, and it wouldn't be that out of the way considering that she said herself she was sent by the president of hell. But that's a tidbit I found interesting. But this chapter, just like many other chapters before, is an Asa depressed chapter. There's been far too many. And I'm not gonna hold you, I'm getting a little bit tired of it. I feel for Asa. I feel a lot of sympathy for her, but I'm getting tired of her going through the same problem almost every single chapter. Because it seems to be like an overall pattern that just goes through the entire series over and over again. That always leads to Asa having downfalls. And the biggest downfalls to her, it seems to be whenever she forms a connection with somebody or something. Point being, the first one being Bucky and the class president and Yuko. Bucky, the class president, and Yuko are some of the events in Asa's history that shows why she is the way she is. It seems that no matter what she does, terrible things just seem to be the outcome of her interactions with other people, almost to a point where it seems fated. Which I believe it might be foreshadowing for the Fate Devil, or Fate itself being maybe the final antagonist of Asa. But back to the point, these events show why Asa way is, why she has so much problems trusting, or why she feels as though whenever she gets comfortable in a friendly relationship, it's all doomed to fail in the end. But at the same time, these interactions show the potential of who Asa can be, or at least the change that can occur with Asa. Because if you look back to Bucky and class president example, the end result being is that Bucky died and she was framed for it, but she was able to learn why people are the way they are, and was able to learn why some of the problems she has are because of it, and how she herself was able to improve because of it. It showed that she herself is capable and able to change. Even the Yuko one, although the order may seem a little bit out of whack, Yuko's ideas that she told to Asa are ideas that Asa herself do agree with, and in the moment where she did believe she was gonna die, Asa herself did try to change for the better and to be someone who she was more proud of, even though what Yuko said turned out not to be fully true. But it still had the effect of showing that Asa herself is capable of changing and growing as a person. And I think that's what Tatsuji is trying to show within this chapter, or at least preparing the show for the chapters up to come. Because I don't really want to talk too much about this chapter, because I kind of feel like this chapter is kind of what it is. You kind of get to read it. I kind of want to talk more about what's the next chapter going to be, in which I believe he's setting up everything it is to come. Asa herself seems to be in a state where she's just in a downward spiral, and it's most of the time not her fault. It's just how everything is around her. And the spiral being the world, and the world's being represented through the falling devil, one of her greatest fears. Well, her greatest enemy at the moment. Asa is represent herself, but in a negative spiral going down, down, down. And Yura represents the solution to the problems. But because of all the effects of the world itself, the solution itself seems very untrustworthy / very harder than it normally would be. Which kind of makes sense being the history she has, and Yura right now is the only thing keeping her alive. But because of the traumas of the past and the traumas being affected because of the fall devil, it's very hard to see the solution through all the problems that's surrounding her. And through like all of her problems in the past, I believe for Asa to truly solve this, she's gonna have to do it not by herself, but with help herself. And that's why I would say Yura represents the solution to all this. And I feel like he hinted at this because he said, "Why should I trust you? I don't even know anything about you," which leads me to believe that we might learn more about Yuro in the next upcoming chapters. And maybe through this understanding of Yuro, she might be able to unlock a new power or something along those lines. But if I'm being fully honest, I don't even think Yuro and her coming to our understanding might even be enough to stop the Fall Devil. This is a primordial fear. And no offense to Asa and Yuro, they're nowhere near the same level as a primordial fear. Even Makino was getting bodied by a primordial fear. Remember what Darkness did? He pointed back. Sure, she did some damage, but she lost their arms. And it was almost, and he almost clipped her until she was able to leave. So I feel like Chainsaw Man himself will most likely come in to save the day as he did, which I've already talked about last chapter. And I kind of want to wrap it up there because I kind of really have too much to say. I know I said I want to talk about next chapter, but that's all I can really predict reasonably. If anything else, my most unreasonable prediction would be that maybe the Fate Devil is up and coming. Although, a side note I kind of noticed is that back when the class president tripped her and killed Bucky, the voice in her head tell her to trip Bucky and fall so she can get framed. And now we're hearing that Fall Devil target is Asa and Yuro, which makes me question, where is the Justice Devil and what beings are coming together to make it seem like Asa is just primary target number one? Because it just seems to line up that Fate is out to get her. Because like the class president tripping her didn't come out of nowhere. The Justice Devil most likely told her. And it's just so sad that like she'll be the target of that. And now she's the target of a primordial fear that was sent from hell itself, which brings into question, who's giving out all these orders? Fate itself, I'm not gonna hold you, Fate is, I guess, would be scary. So I can imagine being a pretty powerful devil. But that's just the main thing. I can't believe I almost forgot. Oh man, I can't believe I made the mistake of thinking that Asa was the orphan. Like, that was such a big blunder on my side. I pretty much read the story wrong. She wasn't an orphan. Pretty much her parents died and she went to orphanage. And the orphan owner was mad that she had a cat / a family member left. So she had to kill the cat so that just like everyone else, she can be just as lonely. I can't believe I made that blunder, man. Gosh, damn. English is my first language, but I like to thank you guys for watching. Sorry for that little mistake, man. It's been B3, and stay animated.